Hey everybody, it's Grace. I just got out of my phone's store where I was supposed to have my phone repaired. It turned black. All of a sudden, started going yellow, and then for about a week, and then went black since yesterday, sometime yesterday. And all I found out was that I had somehow turned that on, cut it on myself to where it went black. Now, why would anybody make their phone go black? Seriously, I don't know. It's some weird setting. It's two combined for whatever reason. But anyway, hey, gave me a reason to go out to this mall. But, excuse me. Okay, but the funny thing is this is the first time, I think I mentioned in one of my videos, I got a new SUV in 2019. I won't say the make and model, but it for whatever reason, they have settings that are kind of interesting. Things that are kind of interesting that it does. And this is the first time I drove it on something where I had to go really fast and I had to go around sharp turns. And I had already suspected this of what it would do, and I was right. Now, what it does, I was telling Adam before, I said, I don't know if I'm needed to be the driver of my SUV because it drives itself. Not really totally, but it does what getting on a highway, it is a highway actually, and having to make sharp turns on that highway, there are sharp turns, it confirmed that it does what I thought it does. It keeps you centered. It keeps you from going over into the next lane. And that highway, it's just one lane each direction, and I think that it especially does that is to keep it centered between the lines. And it pushes it back. Of course, you have total control over that. You can stop it, you can steer yourself. You can turn it off from doing that too, both of them. But it was strange to me because I'd felt this before, like if you look in your rearview mirror and you see that there's nobody coming and you turn your blinker on, and if you 1 second start to move over before you put your blinker on, it puts you back in your lane. Stay in your lane, bro. That's what it says. Okay, it doesn't actually say stay in your lane, bro, but yeah, or sis. But it does, and it did it twice because there's this curve. I think people used to call it death's curve or devil's curve. I think it was death curve, and they fixed it. They changed it, but it's still a real sharp turn, and it's a highway. So it's a very sharp, and it's just one lane going each direction. And it did it there, and then there's another one right after that, and it did it there too. It's really weird when your car starts driving. Well, mine's an SUV. It starts driving for you. Of course they always have these days, and for many years now, since I was a teenager at least, cruise control. And it has that. I don't use cruise control myself. And it also stops if the example they give is like if a child runs from behind another car and you didn't see it, and the child runs in front of you, it stops so it won't hit that child. It's the same thing they say with anything, stop. And I ask, because I'm like that, I asked, well, how does it know how fast to, how to slow down, how to do it without harming you? Think about it. If it slams on your brake and you're going 40, 45, 50 more, that might hurt, It's, even with your safety belts on. And it might bring the airbags out, pop them out, And the guy just basically told me it calculates how to do it. And in some situations you might still get hit, but it will minimize the damage, is what they said. So this place is about, I don't even know how many miles from my house, but it took about, I'd say 30 minutes, maybe more, give or take, to get here. And then why didn't they tell me over the phone? Well, seriously. Oh, well, check this setting, and because I explained to the guy, the repair guy, this is what happens. He says, well, come in and I'll give you a display. That's an older phone. It's 2.5 years old. I don't know how many of you know this by now, but my experience in life, and that's a lot of years, computers and cell phones need to be replaced every about 2 to 2.5 years. iPads, notepads, whatever you have, pads. Well, maybe not that. But anyway, you know what I mean. But anyway, he says, what color is yours? I don't know what the color difference made, but mine is gold. And he said, we don't have the gold. It was an old display, and those are almost obsolete, and it's 2.5 years old. But anyway, so he's going to give me a black one. I have no idea what all that means. And I was going to ask him when I got here, and why didn't he tell me? Just push this button and push this button on my phone, and it would fix it. The salesman told me that, and as I walked in the door. Okay. Let's say this. I am out of Narcissism-ville right now. That's what I call it, Narcissism-ville. You know that, where I live. And the guy over the phone was so much friendlier than the one I spoke to before him, who, was just trying to dodge it. And the one before that, they didn't even answer their phone. So I called originally the one where I got it, and I was sent down this little trail. But this guy here was nice, and it's really nice. Both of them, the guy inside and the guy over the phone. It's so nice to hear nice people every once in a while. Where I live, good luck with that. It's got a reputation. I didn't give it to it. Yeah. This is a little vlog. Now to warm myself out of here, it's really unbelievable out here. Seriously. It's got a lot of trees, and it winds around. I know I'm going to have a problem getting back out, finding my way back out, because it twists and turns and all this stuff. And it's like the mall is it's all spread out, north, south, east, west, everywhere directions, with a lot of trees, and seeing around the trees and all that. Yeah, wish me luck. But anyway, I'm gonna go find some place to eat out here. Maybe I should try that cafe. Anyway, I want to wrap it up. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye. I'm going to add a little more to this. I went to eat breakfast, and that was probably the worst breakfast I've ever eaten. I've never thought that about any place, like the worst, and really never been one to do what I did on this one. And not only did I not give a tip, but I wrote on the receipt that they keep that it was bad tasting, unbelievably. Okay, that's all I wrote was bad tasting, but it was. I should have just wrote tasted bad. I don't know. I was thinking, I was like, whoa, it was expensive, and it was bad. It was an omelet, a ham and cheese omelet. The ham, who knows where they got that from, but the cheese was like hard. It was worse than Velveeta. Actually, Velveeta actually does, on an omelet, it does pretty much taste good, and it spreads. I mean, it doesn't just make a big clump. And that's what this cheese did, was make a big clump. And not only that, but the buns, I got pictures of them. The rolls, they were so hard like bricks. And I'd gotten some gravy. I wanted gravy. She said, you like sausage gravy? I said, yeah, okay. And it was clumped, and I'm not talking the pieces of sausage, or what I think that were sausages, pieces of sausage. I've never been like this on a restaurant, but it was unbelievable to me. They call that food. And then they had hash browns that were real, like, close to burnt, and it was mainly like close to burnt stuff. Like I said, I put 0 for a tip, because no. And the young woman, all she did was come by. She just got my order, and I could barely understand what in the world she was saying. She's white like me, so it's not an ethnic thing. And she just mumbled, and like she really didn't want to be there, And I've never written anything on a receipt before. I've never complained at a restaurant. Now Adam has. I've complained about it after I left to Adam. And maybe I have. I don't know. Actually, I went back to one because it was bad that what I took home. Yeah. But I'm trying to remember here. But to sit there and just write it on that, that it was bad. It was. No, I'm not like that. And I'm not one to not leave a tip because it's not her fault. But hey, I'm not paying. I've paid enough. It was it was expensive for that mess, and I didn't even get a drink, and it was expensive. I got water. Okay, it was like, my goodness, this is what they passed off. And there was a woman that was sitting at the I don't know, I guess the bar. I don't know if you call it a bar or what, but she was sitting there right. It was kind of next to me, and she, after she finished and got the check, she kind of shook her head, like she was surprised, and she had this look on her face like she was totally disgusted too. That's how I felt, totally disgusted. Overall, the experience was not good. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I don't know what channel I'll put this on, but yeah, I was going to put it on my one that's about narcissism.